Welcome to Tzu Chi This week. I'm Terry Poo. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, the Tzu Chi International Medical Association organizes its first dental convention in the Philippines. Malaysia and Taiwan's medical staff deliver their love to society through donations and the recycling campaign. In Germany and the United States, local Tzu Chi volunteers organize tea gatherings to share Tzu Chi's ideals and cancer care information. In the Philippines, Manila, the Tzu Chi International Medical Association organized its first dental convention, where 150 delegates from 6 countries took part. Let's take a look.
This year, the Tzu Chi International Medical Association organized its first ever dental convention in the Philippines. Upon arriving in the country, team of volunteers from across the globe can immediately feel the warmth of the Tzu Chi family.
They're very warm-hearted, they're very caring, very nice. So we're very touched by all their help.
There is a doctor from the United States who will share his expertise. If we can integrate all of our skills, not only will we be able to help more people, we can also learn something new. I think it's great.
Implant survival rate is not the same as success rate.
150 dentists from the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, United States and Sweden are taking part in the convention. Dentist Deng Guorong from Singapore give participants insight into dental implants and how Jingsi aphorisms have helped him in his own practice.
We prepare for crisis even when all is well.
Yeah, I like the aphorism because it is related with the dental, but it is also related with our daily lives. And the good thing he always reminds us is we must always be careful with what we do.
Deng has been a team member for 10 years and is an active member of many international medical missions. Back at home at the Tzu Chi Free Health Screening and Medical Clinic, Deng is seen as a savior by his patients.
We have to be mindful in all we do and treat our patients like our own family. With this in mind, I'm sure our patients will benefit a lot.
By integrating their skills and experience with Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture, these dentists will no doubt continue to help many more people around the world.
Day 2 of the TIMA Dentists Convention focused on practical training. 2 doctors from the United States demonstrated how dentists can better safeguard the health of their patients by using new technology.
On Day 2 of the TIMA Dentists Convention, participants are getting a chance at hands-on learning.
Tighten out this one and unscrew this one and this one.
US TIMA doctor Chen Xunman introduces a new dental molding technology to the listening doctors. For dental student Faye, it has been an eye-opening experience.
I want to vomit because the material is going into my throat.
In future, how you can understand the patient?
Yeah, I can really understand and how to do it properly so that they will not feel something different.
Meanwhile, US TIMA doctor Liao Jingxing demonstrates how to perform endodontic therapy. More commonly known as root canal surgery, the procedure often takes a few visits to the dentist to complete the treatment. However, today Dr. Liao shows his fellow dentists how to complete the procedure in just one go.
After this convention or this seminar, I feel it gives me more confidence, to handle cases like this. Like especially this apicoectomy. I think after watching this, I will have the least confidence to do it on my patients.
The 31 doctors from the Philippines learn as much as they can, hoping one day they can use such expertise in the service of their fellow countrymen.
In the United States, California, Tzu Chi's mobile clinic vans arrived in Walnut to perform eye exams and dental services, helping 47 local residents in total. 2 Tzu Chi mobile clinic vans arrived in Walnut, California to provide free health check services. Participants here are able to receive a thorough eye examination, where a translation volunteer is available as well.
It just gives me a lot of pride and joy just to be able to help the community. I enjoy what Tzu Chi does, how through large groups and everybody doing a small efforts that they can create a better community and a better world.
Also, dentists perform checkups while teaching proper oral hygiene.
5 minutes. All right? Floss them. Okay? Yeah. And 2 times.
While participants are waiting, Tzu Chi volunteers seize the chance to introduce Tzu Chi's Bamboo Coin Banks campaign. After the free clinic ended, participants go home filled with Tzu Chi's love and warmth. In Penang, Malaysia, the staff of one hospital has come together to help Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the Philippines through Tzu Chi's charity campaign. But first, we go to central Taiwan, where Tzu Chi volunteers have mobilized to minimize the environmental impact of Dajia Mazu's holy pilgrimage.
Dajia Mazu's holy pilgrimage began on April 6 with participants flocking to downtown Dajia. After the night celebration ended, the streets of Dajia were filled with trash. Thus, Tzu Chi volunteers gathered early the next morning for some serious cleaning. Led by the superintendent, Jian Shouxing, some 40 staff from Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital also take part in the activity.
I'm here today to take part in a street cleaning so I may personally experience how to protect the environment.
Let our piety be heard by the goddess Mazu.
After her shift in the ER, Liu Yiling decided not to take a nap but come straight to the event.
We become more powerful as we unite.
As the parade passed Zhanghua, some 100 volunteers came out to promote recycling. They sorted through the garbage for recyclables and washed all one-time use dining ware and utensils.
Because the cleaner ones will fetch a better price, they don't have to treat it again, so we keep them separate.
The environment will become cleaner as we learn to utilize recyclables.
The more people willing to join the cause, the better. Meanwhile, in Penang, Malaysia, residents have come together to send their love to the Philippines. The staff at the Lo Guan Lai Specialist Center is making donations to help victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines.
We have chosen Tzu Chi because Tzu Chi has demonstrated the spirit of universal love. Its volunteers first survey a disaster area to understand victims' needs and make sure the money will reach people who need it.
The hospital also made room for a Jingsi Books and Cafe, so patients may find nourishment for their mind and spirit.
A big heart is better than a big house. I like this one because it's quite profound. Truly, you should cope with all things in life with a big heart.
The calming presence of Tzu Chi's humanity also helps patients and their family find serenity amid the impermanence of life.
In Germany, Munich Tzu Chi volunteers organized a tea gathering to introduce Tzu Chi's work to participants. Meanwhile, in the United States, Tzu Chi El Monte Service Center, local volunteers organized another gathering for cancer patients.
I thought if I was healed, I would become happier.
Tsai Jinghong, who was diagnosed with cancer in 1997, is here to share his experience.
I spent 15 years before I realized that it is when I'm happy that I will get better.
Tsai says the best way to fight against cancer is to live with it in peace and harmony.
Cancer cells are most resilient. They will not stop attacking until we die.
Later, Tsai teaches cancer patients on how to choose reliable cancer care information.
The most trustworthy cancer care information is those published by the mainstream media and medical facilities.
Whether you are a cancer patient or not, one can always find support at such gatherings.
After I suffered from cancer, several volunteers come to help me. I have gained much spiritual support through this event. Brother Tai also gives us much information about cancer care. It helps us a lot.
上也得到了麦克很多的很新的资讯，这样对我们抗癌起到了很大的不同的那个。
At the Tzu Chi El Monte Service Center, Tzu Chi volunteers provide a venue for cancer patients to recharge and continue with the fight against their illness. Meanwhile, at a tea gathering in Germany, trainee volunteer Shu Ying seizes the opportunity to introduce Tzu Chi's work to her friends and family. The tea gathering organized by Munich Tzu Chi volunteers was attended by both young and old. Various performances and Tzu Chi's video clips ignited the joyful atmosphere. The highlight of the event was the celebration of the 90th birthday of Shu Ying's father. Inspired by Tzu Chi, participants now have found the right direction in their lives. To mark the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi's work in the United States, 100 Tzu Chi volunteers joined a rehearsal for the upcoming performance of the adaptation of the Sutra of Immeasurable Meanings. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, Xindian Tzu Chi volunteers took to the streets to invite passers-by to take part in the chanting of the Lotus Sutra event. Tzu Chi volunteers take to the streets to invite passers-by to join them in the chanting of the Lotus Sutra, a global event that is said to run for 16 days.
晚上7点半到9点，因为这个无量已经是对我们每一个的人生有很大的帮助的。
Volunteers also find their way into local shops to spread their message. At the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, volunteers and community members come together to chant the Lotus Sutra. A Taiwanese businessman in China also seizes that chance to come and learn the Dharma.
如果有这个机缘，也
I'm glad to have this opportunity to follow in Master Zeng Yan's footsteps in spreading her Dharma in China. I hope more and more people can bathe in Tzu Chi's beauty and kindness.
来感受这个法的美跟善。
Here at the Banqiao Jinsi Hall, volunteers, many whom took part in the event last year, are once again coming together to chant the sutra.
Currently, disasters are widespread. As Master Zeng Yan's disciples, we should join together in chanting the Lotus Sutra to make our positive messages heard. Together, we should pray for a world free from disasters.
Through chanting the Buddha scripture, good thoughts are accumulated before being sent out far and wide. Meanwhile, in the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers attended a rehearsal for their upcoming performance of the adaptation of the Sutra of Immeasurable Meanings. To mark the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi's missions in the United States and the upcoming Buddha Day ceremony in May, 100 volunteers come together to carry out their first rehearsal at Tzu Chi's U.S. headquarters. Already busy spreading Tzu Chi in their own communities, these 100 volunteers, despite their demanding schedules, arrived to practice together.
To make our performances perfect, we need to practice together. Everybody can work on their own to make their movements perfect. However, when it comes to the group presentation, group practice is needed.
To spread the positive messages embedded in the sutra to members of the public, these onstage volunteers work around the clock and cherish every opportunity to rehearse. In Malaysia, teachers of the Tzu Chi parent and child class in Tampin designed games and play videos to teach students about mindfulness. But first, let's join Tzu Chi volunteers in Kulai as they call on community members to respond to their Million Bodhisattva campaign.
我们来宣导说一善破千灾，就希望说大家可以一起来为我们这个世界祝福。
Despite meeting for the first time, Tzu Chi volunteers' friendliness dissolves all barriers. In an effort to promote their Million Bodhisattva campaign, Kulai Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting community residents door to door in the search of like-minded individuals.
这些善行呢，就是说， 不用说我们要付出很多，只要在自己能力范围内呢，你每天1毛钱还是5毛钱，其实它就是一个善心的一个表示哦。祝福您。
I want to contribute what I can as disasters are becoming more frequent around the world. This is just a little gesture of goodwill. I want to do my part to help out. Using pamphlets, volunteers introduce the Buddhist NGO, while also encouraging local residents to lose no time to do good deeds.
Many people haven't heard of Tzu Chi, but once we explain our mission, they're willing to contribute what they can. It just shows that small change can go on to do great deeds.
We save up a little here and there to donate. It's for a good cause. No matter how much one contributes, it's still significant because as more people contribute, it will accumulate. For the late Tzu Chi volunteer Li Yaojin, the campaign has always been close to his heart. After he passed away last month, his wife Wu Su Liu has been helping to fulfill her husband's lifetime wish.
Even though he left us too soon to see the campaign come to fruition, I will take up the baton and help him realize his wish.
With everyone doing a little to help, our society will surely see more love and hope in the future. After 4 months, the Tzu Chi parent-and-child class in Tenpin has finally resumed. At their first lesson of the year, through a game of Thread the Needle, Tzu Chi volunteers teach students about mindfulness. As a mother myself, I never knew to educate my children in this way. Sometimes mothers can also be very careless. What I learned today is to be more attentive and more patient with my kids. The class also welcomed new members at the start of the new school year. Volunteers incorporated Jingse aphorism teachings into the games to strengthen parent-child relationships, while also keeping the children entertained.
A teacher from my school also brought her child here. You can see that the interaction between them has improved, from originally a shy kid to now being able to pick up the microphone and answer my questions. His improvement is really the greatest accomplishment for me.
Meanwhile, at the Daya Kindergarten in Johor Bahru, 5-year-olds are on an outing to learn about architectural beauty. Today, teachers and students visit a local temple to expose the children to a different learning experience. Instead of showing them different types of architecture using pictures or videos, we wanted to let them see it all for themselves.
The paintings inside the temple were very beautiful, and I also want to learn how to write that better.
By observing architecture firsthand, not only has this deepened the students' understanding of related topics, but also created memories to last a lifetime.
In the United States, as Earth Day is around the corner, the Cupertino city government in California held a festival to pass on environmental messages to the public. Meanwhile, in Detroit, we meet Tzu Chi volunteer Lin Xiufeng, who was devoted to Tzu Chi's recycling mission locally. But first, we go to China's Guangdong, where volunteers share recycling tips with employees of a local business and students of a school.
More than 140 employees of HPB Optoelectronic watch a video on environmental protection, as today Shenzhen Tzu Chi volunteers are here to pass on an environmental message.
After watching the video, I became very anxious and worried because there are many environmental problems the Earth is facing.
Other than showing a video on environmental conservation, volunteers also put on a skit to reinforce the importance of safeguarding our Mother Earth.
We need to use electricity and water wisely. We also need to change our shopping habits and limit the use of plastic bags.
During the event, entrepreneur Xu Xuanyue, who has been a supporter of Tzu Chi's missions for years, encouraged employees to go vegetarian 1 day a week.
I hope one day employees of HPB Optoelectronics Shenzhen branch can go meatless several days a week.
Knowing that environmental education should begin at a young age, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at Yanshan Primary and Secondary School to teach children the correct way to sort recyclables.
There is a big difference between knowing and doing. We are here at the Yanshan Primary and Secondary School to encourage children to practice recycling.
We want to inspire children to love their home, school, society, and Mother Earth.
Meanwhile, in the United States, for the past 6 years, Detroit Tzu Chi volunteers have been practicing recycling on a weekly basis, rain or shine.
We don't have enough volunteers, so female volunteers often have to take on tasks that are meant for male volunteers.
The reason behind the lack of volunteers in Detroit is due to the amount of money gathered from selling recyclables.
One local volunteer told me that she didn't want to help out anymore because we only collected about $4 from selling the recyclables. She said that it was not worth it. When Tzu Chi first started promoting recycling, nobody wanted to join. I told myself that I need to keep going. My husband and I will continue no matter what.
With determination and courage, regardless of the cold weather, Ling Shoufeng and her husband insist on striving ahead as they know protecting our Mother Earth is something that cannot wait.
Yeah, Tzu Chi Foundation, we are coming recycling. Thank you.
Using a cart to collect recyclables in this apartment building. Thanks to efforts like these from Ling Shoufeng, residents have realized the importance of sorting recyclables.
More and more residents here have started sorting the recyclables. They will put their garbage and paper in separate bags and bring them down here.
Next, the recyclables are stored temporarily at Ling's house before being sent to a local recycling center.
I have sorted a lot of recyclables in here. I can't open the door right now because it is covered in snow. I need to shovel some of the snow away.
Despite how little money is raised from collecting recyclables, Ling Shoufeng and her husband promise to continue as a way to lessen our planet's burden. As Earth Day is just around the corner, the city government of Cupertino hosted a festival to showcase tips on green living, water conservation, and much more. Through hands-on activities, many children came to realize the importance of cherishing resources.
After my children came home from school, they told me we need to cherish water and protect our planet. When they wash their hands, they will put a bucket underneath.
The volunteers also encourage members of the public to adopt Tzu Chi's bamboo coin banks, in which money saved from electricity and water bills can be donated to help those in greater need.
At first, I didn't know the meaning behind Tzu Chi's electricity and water coin bank. After listening to a volunteer's explanation, I know now it is very meaningful.
Thanks to the event, members of the public not only go home with tips on green living, but also vow to contribute their share to reduce the burden on our Mother Earth.
We go back to the Philippines at the end of our show. As the first Tzu Chi Dental Convention is ongoing in Manila, some 80 TIMA members seized the chance to conduct a free clinic for Typhoon Haiyan survivors in Omak City. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Tzu Chi this week. Goodbye.